Hi, I'm Chris with Williams Contracting, and today we have an exciting conversation and discussion. I am with
Sharis Nicholson. I am the lead designer here at Williams Contracting.
and we're going to talk about all sorts of fun things as it comes to house design, project planning, selections. Sharis does a lot of work with our clients. She's the primary point of contact when it comes to any kind of decision making, product selection, design ideas, creativity, all that really exciting, fun, pretty stuff, I like to say. So we're going to dive right into it. I got some good questions for you. Can I grill you a little bit, put you on the spot? And hopefully this helps everyone who's watching this and gives you some great ideas for your house. Remember, like and subscribe for more great content. And in the link below, you'll see our toolkit, which has example cost sheets, contracts, product selections, which Sharis plays a huge role in, and all the information you need for planning a great home. So let's just jump in. Okay, Sharis?
All right.
So when a client comes to us and says, I am ready to build my dream home, what's your first move?
Well, everybody wants a dream home, right, Chris? So, me too. So I think, the biggest thing is finding out what they want, making it like function over the HGTV home or the really pretty things. So making sure that function is a key point of their home.
Okay. So with a lot of people, they come to us, they have big ideas. It's easy to access multi-million-dollar photos of homes, right? And see what everybody else is doing, and I want that, and they want that. So how do you take all that inspiration, those ideas? Because we do want to build really nice stuff for people. Obviously, there's restrictions, but how do you take all that inspiration, Pinterest boards and ideas, and turn it into something that really is real and usable for, what I like to call real people like us?
Right. So definitely Pinterest is gold to me. You can tell like tones, colors, woods, textures, different things like that really plays a big role in just, the bedroom, the bathrooms, their kitchen, wood beams, the interior and the exterior of their home. So that plays a big role.
So you're saying that people's Pinterest boards or their mood boards or their inspirations is actually a window into their soul and the spirit of their home.
That's the key.
What would you say, and this is probably a tough one to condense, but what is the most fun part you have in working with clients?
I think the fun part is the very beginning because people are super excited.
Okay.
They're have their Pinterest board, they have their vision, they have the excitement. It's like I have this, I want to do this. Now how do we do it? And that's where we come in as a team. As Williams Contracting with our design team, and we just all collaborate together.
It's true.
And
a lot of discussions.
a lot of discussions over and over. So it's just a lot of fun, from blueprints to renders, and just bringing it to life for people. I think that's the most fun.
So I'll put you on the spot a little bit. So I'd be totally honest. How often do clients, we start on a direction, we're working on something, we think they're on board, they're demonstrating that, we're excited, and then they pull a switcheroo and something drastic changes. Like, you know what? I never loved this, or here's a new idea I just found and it just changes the whole kitchen. Like, how often does that happen where people change their mind, and how do you roll with that to serve them?
Well, Chris, that happens often.
Like 1 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Come on, put a number on it.
I will say
the people want stats.
I will say 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. People change their mind.
They do.
Okay, so if someone changes their mind, they're not weird.
No.
And it's not wrong.
No, it's normal.
And it's not unusual.
It's definitely not unusual. I will say
that makes me feel better, because when I'm trying to decide stuff, I have a really hard time buttoning it down and committing to that without second guessing.
Yes, I will say it's 100% normal. Just because, you think about it, you're making a huge commitment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody is going to be like, oh my gosh, you're making a huge decision in life. And you're putting your money all in. It's like lottery. It's like, hey, I'm putting it all in. You know what I mean? So you're making a decision am I going to win? Am I going to not?
Right? Is it actually going to be?
Is it going to happen? Is it not? So,
Can this guy can these guys pull this off, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
you're trusting the process in this, and it can change. So it's okay. So, and that's the flexibility in design.
So how do you deal with that when a client, say we're mid-build and you haven't bought something, but you've got approvals and kind of working through, say, some cabinetry or countertop, and then someone's like, you know what? I've just never liked that selection, but I never told you. So what do you do then?
So then we kind of go back to ground one. I kind of we start over, and I try to have that conversation with our
Start
client.
over for that area.
Start for that selection,
Okay.
and say, hey, let's go back to that Pinterest board that we originally talked about. Let's start talking about color.
Let's go back to your first love.
Let's go back to the first one.
What was the thing
like
that
that.
at the beginning you said, I really like this?
Yes.
Before they got into the work
Right.
of selecting and making decisions back when
Yes.
it was really exciting.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
kind of like, I'll put it this way. It's kind of like, when you go to the perfume counter and you start smelling a
I
whole
don't
bunch
know
of
this, but go ahead. Oh,
or cologne. For the ladies out there, if you smell a lot of perfume, they always say, like, to get coffee, to cleanse the palate, right?
the drinking coffee cleanses the palate, or smelling coffee
Smelling a coffee bean, it
cleanses the
your
palate.
palate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And so it kind of lets you start all over.
So what coffee bean do you carry when you're working with clients?
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
It's a secret coffee bean.
That's for the perfume. Okay. No, that's really good. So you say, let's go back. Let's figure out what did you like? What do you really like? Let's kind of, you got to get out of the process and the production and the pressure.
Yes.
And say, what are we really trying to do?
Know what you want in your design, because sometimes you could have something that's nostalgic to you that you want in your home. That's something you want to take into your new home. Don't forget that. If that's something that brings you happiness, that brings you joy, take that into your future, because that will carry you throughout the rest of your life.
It's not all about the final finished photo. It's about living in the space and enjoying it.
Yeah.
So that's good. You do have to make decisions at one point, right? We're dreaming, we're looking at ideas. So you get into actual product selections. This is the flooring I'm going to do. This is the cabinet I'm going to do, like all of those. So when it comes to finishes, colors, and those kind of things, how many choices are there? How do you help people kind of get decisions made so that you can avoid, I don't know if you can avoid decision fatigue, but really to help them through that, because it can be very overwhelming. So how do you work through that?
We kind of start at the heart of the home. Usually is, the kitchen, because usually that's the main focus where everybody gathers. And you kind of expand on that space. And usually, your paint color, will kind of set the tone of your home as well. Which is your interior walls, your cabinetry, if that's going to be a wood finish or if that's going to be a painted finish.
What do you do if someone's like stuck and they have two, say, countertops?
We can help reassure people by showing them a concept in a render. And sometimes that helps people, to kind of help, reassure their decision in that it's not the actual, but I mean, it can at least give them that conceptual decision.
That assurance that it is the right call.
Right.
Okay.
And they can kind of have a and B selection of where they can kind of see the two side by side.
So have you had it too also where, say, a client surprises you, it's a wild idea, they want to incorporate, like how does that happen? Do you have any stories, things like that have happened, and what you did and how it really worked out well?
Yeah, well, actually, we actually had a client where we were in her house and she had some art in her house.
Okay.
And it was actually kind of neat because we were looking at it and we were like, gosh, this is kind of a cool piece of art.
And she wanted to incorporate somewhere.
And she wanted to incorporate it in her house, and we were like trying to figure out how are we going to do this, right? And I was like, let's be really creative. And so what we did was we took this piece of her art. And actually,
this is her art.
This was actually her art. She's our artist.
Okay.
And we actually took this art and we found a vendor on the East Coast, and they created a sample, and they took her art and put it on a 5x5 piece of tile, and they created the image.
So a completely custom tile.
piece.
This isn't like
No.
a tile that they found that someone made. This is does not exist anywhere else.
No, this is her design.
So that was
handcrafted art.
extremely expensive and took a long time to get.
It's not extremely expensive. It wasn't expensive.
I would have assumed that, like something
right?
one of a kind.
So it was a one of a kind, but it definitely, it was, for a sample piece of it, roughly probably under $20 to get this piece.
To get the sample to
just
prove
to get the
that.
sample of a proof. And it was really exciting because we didn't know, what to expect on the other end. And it came back and it was her art. And it was on this 5x5 piece.
Nice.
And we were able to incorporate it in her house.
That makes it so special. There's a story behind it.
Yes.
It's her actual design, not just
actual design.
That's really cool.
And it's just awesome.
Was the vendor like something you found through Pinterest?
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
it was just research and just, looking up custom piece art, tile.
So there's a lot of resources that we're not even aware of until we have a need for them.
Exactly.
And that's really neat.
It was really cool. So that's, just stuff that we do, as designers that we can help our clients that really set the bar high for our clients.
So don't be afraid to say, what if, when someone's working with a budget, which is all of us.
Yes.
What is an area of a home that you would say, listen, really make this good, splurge on this area, don't hold back, or don't, maybe they're feeling the pressure of, everything I want's more than I thought it was going to be, but what's really worth an investment into what area?
I would say it would be your windows, your lighting, like the natural lighting coming into your home. Because that's going to make a huge impact all the way across the board. That's something I just absolutely love in the early AM all the way to the end of the evening. Your sunsets, your sunrise, like it's just natural, and it's just beautiful. And it's not going to take a huge impact. And there's, you can spend a lot of money on it, or there's cost savings too.
So you're saying the quantity or location of windows is important,
right?
The size of them too.
Definitely.
Don't go small just because it's stock, but make sure it works.
Correct. Okay. Yeah.
Nice. That was not the answer I was expecting. I didn't know what to expect, but I think that's a great.
Yeah.
That's a great
my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, it's like real estate. You can't change the location.
Yes.
Once you build the house. Adding windows is a lot of work.
It is.
You can update other things down the road, but adding windows or doors is tough. So that's a great call.
Yeah.
What's an area that you would usually say, listen, it's okay. We don't have to be crazy here. Let's keep it simple. Keep the budget in mind.
Yeah.
And it could still look amazing. We can do something that helps it, but really let's not go insane. Because I know, you look at certain products, we all walk into the showroom and boom, that's the one we want. And it's the most expensive one in there immediately.
Yes.
So how do you help people with that? Because we can't get everything we want.
I would say maybe hardware.
Okay.
Just because there's so many different types of hardware.
It's a huge range.
There's a huge range of hardware, color, finish, style.
What does hardware include? Like what items?
Well, I was thinking maybe even possibly like on your cabinets.
Okay, cabinet hardware. Door handles?
Door handles. Yeah, because and it changes, and that's something that you can quickly change out. If you're a person that is going with the trends, you can change it out, swap it out very easily, and it could be very budget friendly. Or
so like an individual, say, cabinet pull, what's the range that you're seeing people purchasing that from low to high? Like how big is that range, and how much, if we multiply that range per cabinet pull, it can be a huge number. So what
it can be a huge number. So the low end, you could look at a pool being $3 per pool all the way
40 or 50 in the kitchen.
That's true.
So you're talking $150.
Yes.
At $3 a piece.
Correct.
Okay.
Or on the high end, you could be at like $50 per pull or higher.
Realistically.
Realistically.
Do you have people buying $50 pools?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, it really depends
And
on.
okay, let me do the math here. 50 poles times $50 is $2,500.
Yes.
So you're talking for a normal size kitchen,
Yes.
you could have a cost spread of over $2,000
Correct.
from a decision.
Yes.
Now the $50 pole is clearly better.
It is. It has a heavier.
It's heavier.
weight.
It's
Yes.
maybe a particular
A
finish.
finish. Yeah, you're gonna get more into like a true brass.
So you're not saying that there's a direct, hey, this is a $3 pole, this is a $50 pole. They look the same, they act the same, they feel the same.
Right.
There is a difference,
Definitely a difference.
but is it important?
That's true. Yeah.
Is it? I'm asking you.
That's up to the consumer. That is totally up to the client. So,
But it is a
something-
suggestion.
It is a suggestion. And so I always ask the client, what is important to you?
Is there anything like, in my mind, like, okay, $2,000, that's a lot of money,
Yes.
but I'm spending $600,000, $800,000 on my house. So who cares? It's $2,000. Big deal. I get what I want.
Yeah.
So anything that's maybe a bigger impact that you're like, listen, you got to calm down. That just doesn't fit in your price,
Right.
even though you love it. What do you see there?
Maybe like a garage door.
Okay.
So a garage door, there's different styles, product wise,
Yeah.
look wise. There's wood doors, there's aluminum doors, there's steel doors, and there's different price ranges there too.
And what's kind of the typical spread on that you see? Like a good quality, we're not saying the cheapest door, but a good quality garage door that we would do for our clients. What kind of price point are those falling in?
Those are usually falling within like $3,500 to $6,500.
So let's say like $5,000
Yeah.
for a good quality,
Good quality.
pretty
door.
typical, nice looking,
Yeah.
well functioning with an opener.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you see kind of as when people get really particular, they want a certain thing, what could they spend? Or maybe someone sent you a picture, I love this door, this is what I want. You priced it and it was shocking.
Yes. If it's shocking, definitely with, wood finishing, paneling, glass, you could be range between $10,000 and $20,000 very easily.
So this is not any difference in function.
No.
It's not any difference in performance.
Correct.
They're both insulated doors. They both could have glass in them. It's purely about the exact style.
Correct.
So some people could say, I love this, and then it's $20,000.
Right.
And we could show them a door that isn't exactly the same, but it reflects the style that they want, and it's $5,000.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Yeah. It really is.
So yeah, that's, I think, a great example of
Yeah.
you're getting the same thing functionally, you're getting something similar aesthetically. There's obviously detail differences,
Yes.
but is it important? How important, and is it worth the investment?
Exactly.
What makes planning a home fun, not just for our clients, but for you? Like, what really keeps that going? Because, like we just said, it can get overwhelming, or just you get worn out. Everybody does.
Yes.
So how does it stay fun? What really makes it fun?
I think what makes it fun is just being able to, like I said in the beginning, seeing their excitement and seeing, this is what I want, and then being able to see it on blueprint, seeing it in the render, seeing their excitement, still throughout the build, and then at the end being able to see it into reality.
It's all there. It's all actual. It's not just a picture.
Exactly.
It's there.
It's tangible,
That's fun.
and they're just like, oh my gosh, like this just happened.
It's
You know what I
it's a
mean?
roller coaster.
It is.
But it definitely ends on that high.
Yes, it's a high
There's
note.
times where it's like, oh, are we ever going to get done?
Right.
I got to make another decision, another approval.
Yeah.
But then as you see the real things
Yes.
going in place, it's like, this is so fun, and it's fun
Exactly.
because it's everybody, our clients, this is their house.
It's their house. That's right.
And they really helped shape it and make it. So I was not a fan of robot vacuums.
Oh yeah, that was
And
a
then
good one.
we got one at our house.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
So we have so
and
many
then,
ideas.
and then a client now said, I want a built-in robot vacuum.
Yes.
And at first it's like, wow, why do you need that? And then now it's like, I want a built-in robot vacuum in my house.
You're right.
So that's one I was thinking. The other thing I was thinking for me was toolkit lighting. You brought that up.
Yes.
And first I'm like, I get it, mood lighting, but then I'm like, you're gonna see all the junk, say in the kitchen,
Yeah.
in the toolkits, but robot vacuum, no more junk,
Bring them
toolkit
together.
lighting,
Yeah,
set
I
the
love
mood.
it.
All right,
There you
so
go.
there's
They go
two I
hand in
thought of.
hands. Yes.
So what's
Yes.
yours? You can't take mine.
Oh man, bringing the turf. You know,
Okay,
the turf on
Artificial
the
turf.
artificial turf. I mean, I think that's great.
you a city girl?
I am a city
Okay,
girl,
there you go. That's
but I'm a country girl too.
some
so,
people
you
like
know.
my way.
Hey, but I love it. I mean, it's low maintenance.
Yeah.
It always looks nice. You don't
It's
got to
true.
worry about
It's
it.
true. There is some houses we've done, and it's in there,
Yeah.
and you go there any time of day, any time of year, and it looks.
That's
spot on.
right.
Anything else you want to tell the people?
Just have a great process. I mean, it's just from start to finish. It's just a great experience, and we really listen to what your needs are and just bring it to reality. And
Yeah, it's true.
we become your family. I always
do.
tell you that.
We
you know.
work with people close for a long time.
We do, yeah.
And it's important. It's a challenge, and you
Yeah.
gotta get things done and take care of things. But it is
Yes.
very personal,
It is definitely.
and it is important that we have a good time and we enjoy
Yes,
working with our clients and our vendors and
Yeah.
everybody. So
very important. But we love what we do, so that makes all the difference.
that is true.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Chris with Williams Contracting. I'm with Sharis Nicholson, our lead designer, and we've been talking about how we work with clients and how she interacts with design decisions and the process and the excitement and all the things that go into building a beautiful home. So like and subscribe to our channel for more great information and videos. In the description below is a link to our toolkit, which gives you access to example plans, contracts, cost sheets, spec books that shows everything we do that goes into planning your beautiful home. Check it out, and we'd love to hear your comments and what you love about this video, and excited to be here with Sharis today. So we'll see you next time.
All right.